Welcome to another vlog. I hope you're well. We are going to be running through the We're going to be running through the recovery diet, who it applies to, and how to execute, or how I like to set it up. But before that, we are basically going to cook some luxurious chicken and luxurious rice. We're also going to have some dates inside it. You know, the meal from the full day of eating. Then we're going to go train pool, and then me and you are going to have a little sit down, a little chat. You got your lunch. You have to tell the world what you're having. You can't just walk away like that. Soup. It's that season. Anyway, hope you well. Just had post-workout, which is exactly the same as my pre-workout meal. Basically, I'll just cook up or batch cook. So I'll do 250 grams of rice, and then obviously I'll split it up in between. And then I'll do 350 grams of chicken, and I'll split it up in between pre and post. Voila. Anyway, so recovery diet, reverse diet, etc. So I think we'll basically just go through what is a recovery diet, what is a kind of reverse diet, and then what's like a rebound diet, right? So basically a reverse diet would be, let's just say for example, let's just be very easy here and just say that you are a 70 kilogram male. My stage weight was around that, so we might as well just go off that. And let's just say, for example, we're just going to try a reverse diet. Now, a reverse diet would be basically just having set calories. Say, for example, I was on 2,500 calories and I was losing weight. I would then plus like 200 calories and just see what my body weight does. And then continue to do that until I'll start to like kind of gain weight. And then from there, add in like 50 grams of carbohydrates every single week, or even like 3 or 4 days, and then just reverse from there. Now, the only real problem with that is that you are basically playing with fire a little bit. You're basically at your most fatigued when you've just come off of prep or a fat loss phase. So things like leptin, things like ghrelin, things like just general fatigue are extremely high here. So it's kind of like, it's almost like dangling a carrot in front of your face, right? Because again, you are very hungry and you're just getting like a little bit more food at a time, a little bit more food. I think that doing it that way, for me, I'd probably then rebound, right? And that's kind of that's kind of why people rebound, by the way. Rebound diet is basically you are 70 kilograms and basically you just have like a seafood diet, and that's not seafood like fish. You seafood and you fucking eat it. That's basically a kind of a rebound diet. You've heard probably You've heard horror stories. Horror stories of people like kind of ending prep at say 70 kilograms and then shooting up to like 105 kilograms in the space of like 3 weeks. And that really does happen if you are overly restrictive here. So it's kind of why I recommend the reverse diet and what I've been doing. A reverse diet would be basically shifting up 5 to 10% of your body weight, and then kind of settling. Number one, fatigue. Fatigue would be low because you're eating more, and you're able to kind of dissipate fatigue with food. Food is our fuel, etc. And also it would regulate with the kind of increase in body fat. With the increased body fat, you would be able to regulate things like leptin and ghrelin. And from there, so basically, let's say for example, kind of 70 kilograms, I would then shoot up to like 75, and then I'll start the reverse diet. So when you kind of add in the 50 kind of grams of carbohydrates every single like 3 or 4 days, that's basically what you do until you start to gain weight, and then you leave it there, and then you're back into a matting phase. It's actually remarkably simple, and it's kind of where I advocate to have a coach the most is this phase here, because essentially you just don't have a goal. Like in prep, the goal is to step on stage. There's no real goal here at the back end of that. So set yourself some goals, as in I really want to get strong. Performance-based goals, like I really want to hit 100 kilogram bench, whatever, and then have your focus on that, because you are going to get a bit fluffy, a bit fat, not fat, but a bit flat. Soft would be the word, right? You are going to get a bit soft, but it's part of the process. In order to gain new tissue, you're going to have to get a little bit soft. You're not going to be able to kind of gain muscle or much muscle whilst you have like kind of veins kind of flaring up your abs. It's just not going to happen. So that is the real difference between them all, and why I recommend doing the reverse diet anyway. I'll leave you to your day. Hope you're well. Oh, I forgot to... We obviously had the update in the full day of eating the other day about the kind of Mac, and also... So we've put the Mac on here, and we've also got the little Mac, and we've got like a nice little setup. I might just show you the whole setup because it's easier. Although you've got backlighting, it might not show it completely, but I'll try and show it. So basically we have obviously mic for recording. We have the Mac on like a stand. Obviously Costa because caffeine, but that's empty, don't worry. I'm not gonna have that post-workout. We also have the drone, which is pretty sick. So we have this, and then obviously the Mac, and then a candle because, I don't know, candles. And then we have the ring light because the lighting in here is great, but in the morning, not so great. I'm also using this as like a vitamin D thing as well. I am gonna get 2 more things for the office, and it's going to be a vitamin D light, obviously as discussed, because obviously it's getting to winter and I'm indoors, and the UV, basically we can't get too much kind of vitamin D in the winter because the UV from clouds is going to be pretty poor. This is strictly speaking for people in the UK, maybe not for people in like California, but yeah, in the UK it's shit. And also it's very, very cold, so we tend to have like layers on, right? I can't just walk around in like shorts and t-shirts, so we do walk around in kind of a layers on, so we're not actually emitting vitamin D from outside. So this is why I recommend in the winter supplementing with vitamin D, and also getting a vitamin D light. Basically they're called SAD lights, SAD light, so a seasonal affective disorder light. So I'm going to get one of them here, which will obviously act as a light in itself, which is good. And then I'm also going to get a Stream Deck, which is, I don't know if you know what a Stream Deck is, but basically instead of, because I've got like more and more clients coming on, essentially I have to bring up their sheet, I have to bring up their Google Drive, and then I also have to bring up their check-in itself. Now with this, you can set it up so you just click a button and you get all of Monday's kind of check-ins all in one, so you don't have to basically manually kind of click everyone's like tabs open. You basically set it up so you just click it in the morning and it all scroll, which is very good because the client, as you're like, if you're a client of mine, you still get the same service, but from my end it saves a lot of time, which ultimately could mean that I bring on more people and then obviously expand the service, which would be sick. But anyway, that is the setup. I haven't got rid of the box yet, but I will do soon, I think. Anyway, that's an update. I don't really know how else to end this vlog, so I thought I'd just basically run through some numbers, because essentially I've just gone through how to recovery diet, but not actually showing you any real numbers of how I recovery dieted. Yes. Anyway, so obviously the aim of a recovery diet is to push body fat up, and then you could obviously regulate hormones and then kind of push on from there. So in the last 5 weeks, by the way, I'm actually still going through this, so I'm actually kind of in that phase now, which is quite good because we can basically have like a wrap up in like 2 months and actually go through what we actually did. So week 1 is basically like when I stopped prep. So I was very, very fatigued, hungry, training performance was pretty shit. 70 kilograms, I ended prep on 2,000 to 2,100 calories, and then what we did is basically pushed up to 2,700 calories, that's from the get-go. Now, we gained 3 kilos in the first week, which to some is like, oh shit, if you're doing a reverse diet, you're probably ending 73 right at the end. Like week 5, you're probably looking at like 73 kilograms. Now do you see the benefit of pushing up kind of body fat from the get-go? Because I understand that here I could have the same training performance here as here. like the first phase of training, you don't want to be kind of pissing in the wind here. You're pretty much ruining yourself for a month. You might as well just get to here straight away and then keep plugging away. So week 1 pushed up to 2,700 calories. Now I was actually in Paris for this, so it wasn't actually bang on this, but we did come back from Paris at 73 kilograms. I did make the executive decision, because I'm self-coached now, to go to 3,000 calories. Then I did notice that hunger, etc. wasn't necessarily in a good place, as in I was eating, I was pretty much hungry straight away after that. Training performance was still and yeah, I just felt kind of a lot of kind of dieting fatigue. So I pushed calories up again. Now, I went from 70 to 73, and then I pushed up calories up to 3,300. And then scale weight kind of stuck to 73. We then pushed up to 3,500, and scale weight started to move again. So again, understand, like with a rebound, I could go from like 70 to like 76 straight away, right? And then like 80, and then 84 or something, and understand that I have to trim back very quickly. Whereas we've taken kind of an aggressive approach, but it's kind of really tapered, if that makes sense. So then we went to 3,500, went to 75 kg. I'm now around 76 to 77 kg, eating around 4k. And number 1, again, training performance is great. Number 2, I'm not like really that hungry. Like leptin and ghrelin have slowed the fuck down. Libido is great, etc, etc. So understand that we're not like kind of pissing in the wind here. We're actively like gaining muscle, at least gaining muscle back from prep. And now what we can do in the next phase of training is actually push on from that. So we don't just kind of, we have this phase and then all of a sudden we have another phase of it. We're done with that. We can now focus on building new tissue, which I'm fucking excited for. But yeah, anyway, again, I didn't know how to end this vlog. It's one of them vlogs that you just kind of pick up the camera and you're like, I'm just gonna start vlogging. So I'm glad we found an ending. I'll see you in the next one, I suppose.